Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on, YouTube? I'm excited to finally get back in the draft season. It's my favorite part of football season, which is sad as a Giants fan. I mean, it seems like the draft is always more fun than the actual season because we always end up stinking up the place when we get into the draft. I mean, when we get into the season. But I wanted to do kind of maybe I'll go until the Giants pick, until we get to that spot. But I wanted to look at doing a mock draft. Now, I don't know every single team's need in the NFL. I just don't know that at this point. But as we get through the draft, we'll start to learn that as we go. Now, I'm going to go ahead and select all the teams. I think I'm going to start off with a top 10 draft. I think that's probably a good start. I'll go top 10. And as I learn more and more about the draft, as we get into the combine, as we get into everything else, I'll start going deeper and I'll do a full first round mock draft. But I'm going to start off with just doing the top 10 picks, more specifically because the Giants have 2 picks in the top 10. And most of my fan base, most of my following are Giants fans. Now, if you're following me and you're checking this out, I will drop another video for all 32 teams, but we're going to start this off in the top 10. The Jaguars are picking number 1. I'm going to just say they take Aiden Hutchinson. It seems like that's the pick. It seems like everybody's moving off of Kayvon Thibodeaux. I hope that Kayvon Thibodeaux in real life falls down to the Giants, but it seems like Aiden Hutchinson is the consensus number 1. So he's going to fly off the board here. Now, the Lions, they have a ton of needs. They can go a lot of places. 100%. Kyle Hamilton, in my opinion, is full. He's probably a second or third best player in this draft. Second or third best player, but he's a safety nonetheless. And I just can't justify taking a safety this high, especially when you could probably think about, trading up. Maybe the Giants love Evan Neal or they love Kayvon Thibodeaux and, they trade up to number 2. I don't think that would happen, but I would look at exploring the trade before I take a safety at number 2. Either way, Kayvon Thibodeaux is dropping in the news for some reason, so I'll just take that as something being real, and I'll send Evan Neal to the Lions. Now, the Texans right here, the Texans have a ton of needs. I thought that they would go winless. I'm not sure if this is a year to address quarterback. They did take a quarterback, and he wasn't bad. Davis Mills wasn't bad this past year, but I'm not sure that they want to go ahead and take a quarterback. So let's look at what we have on the board. This board is very strange because Sauce Gardner is at 14. Linderbaum's at 15. Jordan Davis is entirely too low, in my opinion. Devin Lloyd is entirely too low. And this is where I'm looking at right here, Ekwonu. I think Ekwonu can be a Pro Bowl level left tackle. I think he can be. And I don't know why he's this far down. But either way, let's look at what else we have here. Scrolling the wrong way here. I would consider Thibodeaux. I would consider Hamilton. And at this point, you're probably just acquiring as many good players as you can. But I think as one of the worst teams, as one of the lesser teams in the league, I think you have to address the line of scrimmage every time. So I'm going to take Thibodeaux for them. I'm going to take Thibodeaux because I think he's that good. I just don't think I just can't 100% buy into him dropping out of the top 5. That makes no sense to me. So now we got the Jets here. So the Jets, they had Jamal Adams. They lost Jamal Adams. And they could address this offensive line here, but they have, they don't have a horrible offensive line. I think they could probably also address wide receiver here, but way too high for a receiver, in my opinion. So I'm thinking between Kyle Hamilton here and Derek Stingley, Sauce Gardner. There's a couple of ways you can go right here, but I will take Kyle Hamilton just because I think he's that good. 2 may be too high for me, but maybe 4 isn't too high. And now we get to my New York Giants picking at number 5 with another pick at number 7. And I think that one of these picks will be traded. I'm kind of almost 100% sure one of these picks will be traded. But I'll make both of these picks just for the heck of it. Now, the Giants are probably very upset because they didn't get a chance at one of these edge rushers, which I think is probably one of the bigger needs for this team. And when you look at this, you can possibly get someone who can help them on the line of scrimmage. So let's see if they have See if they have they got Charles Cross here. I don't know why he's ranked over Ekwonu. Charles Cross is a prospect that I like. Trevor Penning is another prospect that I like, but I think it's too high for both of them. And I will take Akem Ekwonu at number 5. All right, so the Giants are going to be picking again at number 7. But right now, we got the Panthers on the clock. And I think they're losing Gilmore after this year. They have the young corner. They have a couple of good corners. They got a lot of guys on defense. I think their defense can be, at least a solid defense. They probably do need a quarterback eventually, but the defense looks good. As far as the quarterback goes, I don't think they're going to take a quarterback here. But I think they could possibly look at Malik Willis. I think so, but I don't think you want to put him in the hands of Ben McAdoo. So the Panthers, let's see what they're saying that their needs are. The Panthers, they're looking at quarterback, offensive tackle, offensive center, offensive guard. It looks like they need an offensive line. So looking at them, the fact that they need that offensive line, I am not taking Kenyon Green this high, but I will look at what else is here. Charles Cross may be on the board here. I think that Linderbaum may be on the board here. Zion Johnson is entirely too low, but he's not a top 10 guy. I think he's top 20, but I don't think he's top 10. Linderbaum is somebody I'm looking at, but tackle is a lot more important. So let's take Charles Cross right here. Trevor Penning is a guy I might like more than Charles Cross, but I don't think the league likes him more than Charles Cross. So I'll take him. He's a tackle, good pass blocker. Doesn't really have that mean streak that I want, but nonetheless, I'll take him there. Now, I'm going to have to start doing my own sort of scrolling around because this board, in my opinion, is subpar. The Giants are going to be picking at number 7. I think they need a cornerback because I think they will get rid of James Bradbury, and they're going to have that spot missing right there. They did take Aaron Robinson in the 3rd round last year. I think he has the potential to step up and be that second corner, but he's not really solidified as that second corner. And you got Derek Stingley and Sauce Gardner on the board right now. And some people think that Sauce Gardner could go as high as number 2 or number 3. So this is a tough decision. I think they need a corner, and I think they also could use one of these 2 linebackers, Nakobe Dean, Devin Lloyd. I think Devin Lloyd is a top 8 player in this draft. I think the world of Devin Lloyd, but he's not a position of like absolute value. Absolute value where that position is like, you have to secure those positions to win. Cornerback, you got to secure to win. And the Giants are rumored to take, they're rumored to be taking Wink Martindale. They're rumored to be hiring Wink Martindale. And if they're hiring Wink Martindale, he's going to need 2 corners that can play man coverage. He's going to need 3. So I will go ahead and select Derek Stingley because I'm an LSU fan. That's why I picked him over Ahmad Gardner, over Sauce Gardner, because I'm an LSU fan and I think he'll be better. Now, next pick right here, I'm just going to just play it safe with the Falcons, and I'll take Sauce Gardner right here. I think that's a nice pick for them. They do have one good corner already. The guy who Jamar Chase owns, Jamar Chase's son, is on the Falcons right now. But now he's going to have a partner in crime because he's actually becoming a pretty good player. He's going to have a partner in crime in Ahmad Gardner, Sauce Gardner right there. For the Broncos, they lost out on Von Miller. They lost Von Miller last year. And I think George Karlaftis and David Ojabo are good players. And I also think that Devin Lloyd is a good player. And these edge rushers after the top 2, I think they're good players, but I don't think they are immediately game-changing players. So I'm going to go ahead and take Devin Lloyd right here. I'm going to take Devin Lloyd. I like that pick. I think he's going to be all over the field. You got Pat Surtain on that defense. Those are 2 really good young players. Now, moving on to the Jets, they have Carl Lawson, but do they have another edge rusher? Looking at some of the better players on the board, I think Tyler Linderbaum is one of those guys. I think as far as the Marvin Leal can be one of those guys. They could possibly go receiver too. I mean, they really have a receiver of note? They don't. Do they have a receiver of note? I mean, they went and took that flyer. They went and took, not a flyer, but in the 2nd round, they drafted a receiver last year. A receiver I wasn't that high on, but I mean, he didn't do too bad. But they could stand to add another one. Let's see what they're saying their needs are. So they're saying that the Jets' needs are cornerback, safety, linebacker, edge, and tight end. Obviously, they're not taking the tight end this high. Edge is on the board. Ojabo and Karlaftis are on the board. They went ahead and took Kyle Hamilton earlier on. And at cornerback, I don't think there's a corner worth taking right here. So you're looking at possibly Nakobe Dean, who I think is worth that top 10 pick. You're also looking at those two edge rushers. After a ton of thought, I think I am going to give the Jets David Ojabo because I think he's a little bit more versatile as an edge rusher. I think Karlaftis can play in a 3-4, but I think Ojabo can easily play in a 3-4 or a 4-3. And I like the pick. He's going to be a nice addition. I think the Jets going ahead and giving that team two defensive guys who can be stars is a great idea. But I'm only stopping at this top 10. Again, as I learn more about what these teams need, I'm going to be able to put together better drafts. But I wanted to put together a top 10 just to kind of kick this draft season off right here. Let's go ahead and review what I started with. Aiden Hutchinson to the Jags, Evan Neal to the Lions, Kayvon Thibodeaux to the Texans, Kyle Hamilton to the Jets, Ekwonu to the Giants, Charles Cross to the Panthers, Derek Stingley to the Giants, Sauce Gardner to the Falcons, Devin Lloyd to the Broncos, and then David Ojabo to the Jets. So you guys go ahead and roast me in the chat. I know people are going to say this is a horrible draft, but this is what mock draft season is all about, making horrible drafts. Let me know what prospects you're looking out for because I am going to be doing film sessions just like I did last year. So if you're new here, stay tuned for that, and have a great rest of your day. If you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.